What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into a live Cleveland Browns report. I know it's the middle of June. We're in the slow portion of the offseason, but we do have some pretty important storylines to get to today as we have a rumor/update on the Amari Cooper contract situation that I want to share with you guys. Plus, Andrew Berry was on NFL Network talking about Nick Chubb, and I don't know if it was a slip of the tongue or if it was intentional, but he said something that really caught my attention that I want to relay to you guys. And we've got plenty of other topics and subjects to get to, plus a Madden stream. Browns versus Eagles, Week 6. We are cruising along in the 2024 NFL season in the Madden universe, so we'll do a watch party for that game. But before we get any further in today's show, Jeremy Stallman, ladies and gentlemen, super chatting before we can even get the plane off the ground, which, no pun intended, because Jeremy works in aviation. I'm also going through my usual, quarter life, I wouldn't say crisis, but I love my World War II in color, and now I'm phasing into air disasters on the Smithsonian Network. So, Jeremy Stallman, that's not going to happen to you, though. $5 super chat. How's everyone doing on this Tuesday? Question, on average, how many subscribers do we get a day? Let's go Browns. I appreciate the question about the YouTube analytics side because usually we never get asked about that side. And I think it's kind of an interesting side for those of you on the consumer side versus the creator side. But I'll say that when it comes to YouTube analytics, you don't measure things by day very often, very rarely. Usually you do it by last 28 days. That's kind of the rule of thumb, the usual popular measurement increment for measuring anything like subscribers, revenue, likes, comments, all that good stuff. So when it comes to subscribers, for the last 28 days, the Browns report has been on the slow train a little bit for adding subscribers, around 150-ish, so that's definitely on the low end. I'll say that when all things are firing and we're in the middle of the season, we could gain somewhere around 1,500 to 2,000 subscribers. That's on the high end in a month. I would say par for the course is usually 800 to 1,000 subscribers in a month. That's kind of your median, if you will. But it can really vary because the NFL is a seasonal thing, right? So it's very dependent on where we are in the season and how the team is doing. Team's doing well, your average Joe is interested longer. If the team's not doing well, they kind of check out when we get to December. Okay. Hope that answered your question, Jeremy. Appreciate you, as always, supporting the channel. As we got $2 super chat coming in from Jeremy as well. Hold, please, Petey. Downing a 20. I don't know what this means. Do you know what this means? Am I dumb? Am I not with the times? I don't know. But we will hold as long as you want to, Jeremy. We got Ty Man the Buckeye in the chat. Ty Man, good to see you. We missed you last week, and I was a little concerned. Okay. We got Mason B in the chat. Oh, good to see you, Mason. I was like, where do I know your name from? We got a lot of other good content to get to on today's show. Another $2 super chat from Jeremy. Where are we on the Browns in chat sports? Amongst all other chat sports teams, Jeremy? I'll assume you're asking about where the Browns report ranks. There's 22 NFL channels. Trace, you can join it because I don't have the numbers memorized. The Browns report at 34,000 subscribers is, what do you think? I'm going to go off the cuff here and say, of the 22 NFL teams, around 12th? 10 to 12, middle of the pack-ish?
Yeah,
but
I would say
it's probably closer to 1 than 22, but...
Yeah, I think you're sitting in the top 12.
Yeah.
I think it's right above the middle. You're
Right.
not quite at the bottom 50%. You're the top 48%.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. You got channels that have been around for a lot longer. Cowboys, Raiders, Bears, 49ers.
Not to mention some NBA channels.
That's what I was doing.
Football.
Yeah, I was just doing the NFL ones to keep it a little bit more simple. So we're on the plus half of the 50-yard line, which, I don't want to be satisfied with that. Don't take my tone or my explanation as that's a good spot to be in. No, I want to see this the channel continue to grow. So if you're already subscribed, send it to a friend that's not, have them subscribe. And if you're not, hit the sub button down below. Okay, we've talked a lot about the YouTube analytics side of things here. So shout out your city. I want to get you guys involved more. And then we're going to talk Amari Cooper and Nick Chubb, Browns versus Eagles Madden simulation. cut candidates after mandatory minicamp. A lot to get to on today's show. Busy show indeed. Let me know where you are watching from. I've got Mason B from Denver. Mason, good to see you. I hope you're having a nice Tuesday, man. We got Jeremy Stallman, Time Lord, DeBrose. We're going to answer that question, DeBrose, later on in today's episode. Jersey Dog from South Jersey. Peterson, Cleveland. Kimberly Hurst is in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm hoping to go to Nebraska this weekend for the College Baseball World Series. My Volunteers are 1 win away from clinching a spot in the final 2. And if that's the case, I've got everything prepared to go. So fingers crossed they can close this one out. McLothan is in Canton. Terrence is in New Albany. DeBrose is in Cleveland. Carlos Walker is in Springfield, Ohio. We got a lot of usual suspects in the chat. Let's see if we can get some new ones. Scott Zappa, New Hampshire, formerly South Euclid. Steven is in Fremont, Ohio. Let's see. F. Conzo, what is our record in Madden? The Browns are currently 3-2. After dropping the first 2 games of the year, they have won 3 in a row, and they're trying to sweep their 3-game road trip between Vegas, D.C., and Philly. Peter, does Cleveland Browns not sound from Family Guy? Yeah, I would say so. Fat Gaming's in Cleveland as well. Okay, now the pinned question on today, the pinned poll on today's video is, would you extend Amari Cooper? Yes or no? The thing when it comes to contract extensions for fan favorites, good players, is they sound great in the moment. But the whole point about an extension is, are you willing to bet on that guy to stay at that high level he's at right now 2 to 3 years down the road? I'm not too concerned about will he live up to the exact payday he gets. Most extensions and free agent signings tend to be slight overpays, right? You have your underpays that you can spot out down the road, but when those happen, the players are quick to hold out and want a pay bump. So you don't even really, from like a cap perspective, get to capitalize on that for maybe more than one season. So the question I'm really asking here is, do you think Amari Cooper can still be a 1,000-plus yard receiver in 2 or 3 years? He's under contract for this year. But can he be that same guy 2 years from now, in 2025 or in 2026? What do you think? I do think he is someone worth betting on. I do think he can continue to play at that high level. So I would go with yes. Scott says yes to the capital Y. Mike says yes. Time Man says yes. Terrence G says yes. Mike's in Quincy, Ohio. Carlos says yes. I do feel like Amari Cooper is in that tier of he has been such a proven player for so long that I don't think he is destined for that fall off a cliff moment, which it does happen in the NFL, right? I mean, just because producer Trace is here, I'm not trying to pick on his Saints, but like Michael Thomas is an example of a guy that just truly just fell off a cliff.
Yeah,
injuries played a huge. Injuries
massive.
Were the whole reason behind that. But like, in the moment, if I told a Saints fan in 2019 that guy's going to stink the next 5 years,
you would say that's insane.
Impossible. Yeah. Maybe he stinks the next year because it's injured that year. But there's no way it would be prolonged.
Yeah. Well, and how often are you getting a consistent 1,000-yard receiver? I mean, 6 seasons with over 1,000 yards is pretty impressive for Amari Cooper. Or not for Amari Cooper, but it's impressive in the NFL.
Right. So I don't think Amari Cooper is destined for that. But, like, I think if someone said, like, I'm not comfortable with betting on a 32-year-old wide receiver, we shouldn't laugh at them for it. Like, we can see where they're coming from. But you do get your generation. Not that Amari Cooper is a generational wide receiver, but, like, you know, routine Pro Bowl caliber guy that they do play well into their early 30s. Larry Fitzgerald had no signs of slowing down into his 30s. And I think Amari Cooper, I'm not comping him to Larry, but I am comparing that they are two reliable, available receivers. And so I think that's something worth betting on. One other question before we really get this plane off the ground. Which Cleveland team do you think is closest to a championship? Browns, Guardians, or Cavs? The Guardians, just from a win-loss perspective, are the best of the bunch, I'd say, at this moment. It's hard to say because the Browns haven't started and the Cavs just wrapped up. But I don't know if there is a city that's got 3 teams all knocking on the door of a championship, right? I mean, Cavs just made the playoffs. They won a playoff series. The Browns just made the playoffs. Guardians are in the middle of their season, but they are on the path to making the playoffs, to winning the AL Central. So it's hard to get all three teams in the city firing on all cylinders at the same time. And the city of Cleveland may have that right now. But the question is, who's going to get kind of over the hump and actually raise a banner next?
I'd like to make my nomination for almost title town. It's Philadelphia.
Oh, for sure.
Almost title town.
100%. I mean, they lost in the championship. Phillies against the Astros. Eagles against the Chiefs.
Sixers never get past the Celtics.
Can't get past the Celtics. They can make the playoffs, but can't do anything in the playoffs.
They have an MVP. Doesn't really matter.
Flyers have not been very good lately, but still, we got 3 there, so we'll take it. So let me know. What do you guys think? Carlos says the Browns. Scott says the Browns. Hooper says the Guardians. Time Lord says the Guardians / Indians. Hooper saying Guardians. Dustin saying Guardians. I would say the majority right now is saying Guardians. No one's mentioned the Cavs, and the Cavs are kind of in a weird spot because the NBA is such a weird league where you can have a lot of talented players, but if it doesn't work really quickly, everyone's quick to hit the blow it up button. They're like, well, we can't waste any more time. Like, other leagues are a lot more patient, I'd say, than the NBA.
Do Cleveland Brown fans, in terms of hockey, are you guys Columbus Blue Jackets fans, or like what team do you think that Browns fans are most tapped into?
I'll let everyone answer that individually because I do think that's a little bit of an individual answer, but the Blue Jackets are the team for Ohio, so yeah. I won't speak for everyone. But, I mean, the Guardians, we just saw the Rangers kind of come out of nowhere and win it. The Guardians are really good right now. The only fear I have for the Guardians is just baseball's a long season, and you don't want to be the kings of May. You want to be the kings of October. So can you sustain that for a long time? Like, that's the only, like, devil's advocate argument against the Guardians because, I mean, they have 4 guys probably going, maybe 5. Naylor, Ramirez, like, they're going to have a lot of guys in the All-Star game in a few weeks in Texas, by the way. Okay. We do have a Super Chat menu today, so if anyone is feeling, a little frisky and wants to support the show in more ways than just liking the video, any Super Chat amount gets you a shout-out on screen. $2 Super Chat, we're singing Here We Go Brownies, so we owe 2 Here We Go Brownies for Mr. Stallman. Number 1 coming up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go, Brownies, here we go, woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies, here we go, woo, woo. $5 Super Chat. If you correctly, there it is, Jeremy Stallman from the logo, a $100 Super Chat. Jeremy Stallman, let's go. All is good. Number 2 and number 24 Guardians are hot. Let's go Tribe and F-Pit. Let's go Browns. Everyone spam Jeremy Stallman. Let's go, Jeremy. Talk about putting the team on your back week in and week out. Jeremy Stallman never ceases to amaze us.
Jeremy Stallman.
Jeremy Stallman.
Jeremy Stallman.
Shout out to you. Oh, that was. Oh. Shout out to you, Jeremy. We gotta switch it up the vocab a little bit. We're getting predictable.
Yeah, we're too rinse and repeat.
Jeremy, thank you so much as always. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Jeremy Stallman is Myles Garrett on the first play, week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. Strip sack against Dak Prescott. Scooped up by Zadarius Smith. And it's 7-0 good guys 7 seconds into the game. Let's go, Browns! Let's go. That's what just happened right there. And when that happens, you know who to tell your friends and family to thank. Jeremy Stallman. Let's go. All right. Coming up on today's show, latest news and rumors. Really excited for this. We got some fun topics to divulge into. Surprise cut candidates. And then a Browns versus Eagles Madden sim for week 6 in the city of brotherly love. So, are we ready to jump into our first segment? Am I ready? What are we talking about? Amari Cooper? Nick Chubb? Jeremy's going to make me lose my voice before we even get today's show underway. Okay. I'm ready if you guys are. If you have not liked the video yet, hit that thumbs up button. It's completely free, and it does help support the channel a ton, which I know is super cliche, and everyone says it, but don't like other people's videos. You can just like mine. How about that? That's a good compromise.
Totally fair.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Live Cleveland Browns report in 3, 2, 1. The first topic and the biggest topic I want to get into on today's show is the latest on Amari Cooper and his contract holdout after he skipped all 3 days of mandatory minicamp. So before we share this quote, let me preface with we got a report, a rumor, if you will, from Brad Stainbrook over at the Orange and Brown Report, and this is what he is hearing. Now, you can form your own opinion as to how much weight you want to put into it. I trust Brad. I think he's a very well-tapped insider with the Cleveland Browns. So if he puts something out there with his name by it, I'm going to read it and give him the benefit of the doubt. So here's what Brad Stainbrook recently wrote on Amari Cooper. The negotiations are ongoing, but money is not the main issue. The Browns are willing to give Cooper an increased salary for this season. The sticking point is the length of the deal. The Browns have yet to offer Pro Bowl wide receiver Amari Cooper a contract extension longer than 1 year, a league source tells the OBR.com. So let's react and break this down together. One, I'm not surprised by the Browns having some reluctancy to giving Amari Cooper a long-term extension, right? There's a couple of reasons as to why. One being the age factor, which we'll break down in more detail in just a second. But I think one reason why the Browns may be hesitant to give Amari Cooper a 2-3 year contract extension, anything beyond 2025, is just the overall direction the league is headed when it comes to replacing and finding wide receivers. The last 5 NFL drafts have produced 28 wide receivers in round 1. The previous 5 NFL drafts produced 17. So you are seeing a change in the overall importance and weight teams are putting in wide receivers. And if the Browns feel like, listen, we can get Amari Cooper, we can get 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns from him, but it's going to cost us $21 million, or we can go draft a rookie wide receiver in round 1 and maybe not get the exact same production, but get it for 1/20th of the cost, a lot of teams will go with the cheaper option. So I could see that being one contributing factor to why the Browns are not rushing to give Amari Cooper a long-term deal, because they are back in round 1 next year and may decide, let's just get another wide receiver there. Another reason why I could see the Browns being hung up on the length of the deal is they just extended Jerry Jeudy, and they put some long-term stake into him. 3-year, $52.5 million contract extension. So I don't think that actual cash is an issue for the Browns. If they wanted to pay Jeudy and Cooper, they could do it. They have the means to get it done. The question is, do they want to lock down 2 wide receivers long term and have a good chunk of their salary cap devoted to the wide receiver room for the next 2 or 3 seasons? Now, in my mind, there is no question about Amari Cooper's talent level, right? That should not be a question we have to answer. Is Amari Cooper worthy of an extension? Yeah, the guy's been freaking awesome the last 2 years. Back-to-back 1,100-plus yard seasons, 14 touchdowns over those 2 years combined, and he's had 6 different starting quarterbacks? Amari Cooper has been through the ringer a little bit offensively, and he is still a very productive player. Now, I did see this comment, and I hate to pick on Jay Dubel from the Resistance or from the dark side here, but Amari Cooper have nowhere near the numbers he had with Joe Flacco. Watson's a bum. Broken English, but I think what Jay is trying to say here is Amari Cooper was awesome with Joe Flacco, but he wasn't great with Deshaun Watson. So why would you extend him when Deshaun Watson is going to be his quarterback over the next couple of years? Factually, that's just not true. Look at Amari Cooper's stats with Deshaun Watson as his quarterback since coming over to Cleveland versus without Deshaun Watson as his quarterback. Are they slightly below with Watson? Sure. Targets are down by 1.6 a game. Receptions per game are nearly identical. He has more yards per game with Deshaun Watson than without Deshaun Watson. His touchdowns sure are down, but he also has 10 fewer games with Watson than without Deshaun Watson. So I'm not going to feed into this idea of Amari Cooper does not play well with Deshaun Watson. No, just not true. And he'd have another touchdown if the referee did not blow the whistle in that Titans game on the sideline. But regardless, don't believe the idea of Amari Cooper is not good with Deshaun Watson. Plus, if you are going to get the most out of Deshaun Watson, which that is goal number one, having an all-pro, like Pro Bowl caliber guy like Amari Cooper is going to be a huge helping element in that pursuit. So with that being said, I do want to take a slight deviation here because I was doing some research on this video, and I came across kind of a sad-ish stat that I think could be some good trivia for those of you that love playing trivia like myself. There are 4 unique wide receivers that have had 1,000-plus yard season and over the age of 27. And I know that's kind of specific and unique, but the point being here is the Browns do not have a history of good older wide receivers. They've never had a wide receiver go over 1,000 yards over the age of 30. If Amari Cooper does that this year, because he just turned 30 years old on the 17th, he will be the first wide receiver in team history to do so. So with that being said, who in 2016 had over 1,000 yards and over the age of 27 with 1,007 yards? Let me know in the comment section if you can figure out who this 1,000-yard man was in 2016. Now, when it comes to father time slowing down Amari Cooper, I'm not denying that that happens to players as they get older, but let's just not pretend like it can't be done. There were 4 guys last year who had well over 1,000 yards for the most part, and were 31 years plus. And Amari Cooper is just turning 30, but of course we're talking about an extension, which means he would play into his 31 years of age and 32 years of age potentially. So you can get good wide receiver play at age 31. We saw that last year. I'm not going to debate that. You can even get it at age 32. Now, at this point, there's a much bigger drop-off. If you look at the wide receivers with over 1,000 yards and 32 years or older, last year Adam Thielen did it. Before that, you had to go back 4 years prior. Julian Edelman in 2019 had 1,100 yards. And then Larry Fitzgerald was the only guy to do that before then in the last 6-7 years or so. So I can understand some resistance to maybe giving him an extension for 3 more seasons. That locks him in for 2024, 2025, 2026. But I can for sure get behind giving Amari Cooper at least a 2-year extension, and we can see how much guaranteed money is left in that final season. And that would lock him in for, obviously, this upcoming season still, and then 1 more beyond that. Now, when it comes to paying older wide receivers, this is not a new thing. Like, there are a lot of wide receivers 30-plus years in age who are making a lot of money and are still really good wide receivers. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Mike Evans. None of these guys look like they are slowing down at the age of 30. They've all played pretty well into their early 30s. So I'm also not in the camp of, oh, there's just no way you can be a good team and have an older, expensive wide receiver. The Dolphins, the Rams, the Bills, the Bucks, they all made the playoffs, and some of them even won in the playoffs. So no, let's not feed into that thought as well. I think the best blueprint to follow for an Amari Cooper extension is a Mike Evans contract extension, okay? He got a 2-year, $41 million deal with the Bucks before free agency opened up. That pays him $20.5 million, guarantee of $35 million at the age of 31. We're talking about giving 30-year-old Amari Cooper something similar to this, and that way he is under contract for the ages of 31 and 32, and I think that's a good gamble to make. Give Amari Cooper a 2-year extension. If it really is between the Browns being okay to extend him 1 more year, but not 2 more years, we just saw that you can get really good wide receiver play at 31 and at 32. Plus, if there is someone that you can rely on, it is Amari Cooper. The guy has played the second most games of all wide receivers since entering the league almost a decade ago. He's missed 1-2 games to injury in the last 5 years. I just don't believe that Amari Cooper is on this course of really good player and then falls off a cliff out of nowhere just because he woke up one day and he was 30 years old. I still think Amari Cooper can play good football into 31 and probably 32. But if you're not confident about the 32 part, like, okay, guarantee $30 million so that you are locked in for 2025 and you can get out of it from a team perspective if you really want to, with not a huge amount of dead cap hit for 2026. So if I had to project what an Amari Cooper extension could/would look like, I think it's something very similar to what Mike Evans just got. Probably a little bit more because that's just the way contracts work. They're always one-upping one another. But 2-year, $42 million deal, that's a slight pay increase from what he is making now. Maybe you don't guarantee $30 million. Maybe it's closer to $25 million. So it's kind of like a 1-year, $25 million extension. And going into that final year of the 2-year extension, there's probably only like $5 to $7 million in guarantees left. So if you really want to get out of it, you can, and it's not going to be a huge burden to your books. But I would 100% be on board with giving an extension something like this. Now, would you extend Amari Cooper? I do want to turn it over to everyone watching right now. Scroll on down. Don't be a stranger. I always love to see what people have to say about these topics. Give me a yes or give me a no in the comment section. I'm on board with it. I feel like I've outlined a lot of reasons to believe that it can be done to play at a high level. Teams can be a good football team with older, expensive wide receivers. I don't feel like this is a time to mess around with your number one wide receiver. Give him an extra year, 2-year deal. I don't think that that's going to be a major hindrance on the 2026 Cleveland Browns. Second element of the show I want to get to, Nick Chubb. Is he going to play in week 1? We talked about this a few weeks ago, but we're bringing it back up because Andrew Berry was on NFL Network and was talking about Nick Chubb. And he closed his sentence or his little response to a Nick Chubb question with this. One of the moments that we're all looking forward to is the first time he runs out of that home tunnel for his debut of the 2024 season. Runs out of that home tunnel for the debut of his 2024 season. Andrew Berry's a smart guy. I don't know if you know this. He went to Harvard. Maybe he was just being a bit lackadaisical with his word choice. But he didn't say runs out of a tunnel for his debut, which could be home or away. He said home tunnel, and not for his home debut, but for his 2024 debut. Again, maybe I'm reading into this too much. Or maybe Andrew Berry is dropping a little bit of a hint. Because if it was home tunnel for his 2024 debut, well, what do you know? The Cleveland Browns are home for week 1. Just going to go Brian Windhorse here and think, I wonder if Andrew Berry is dropping a little bit of a hint of we think he could be back for week 1. Or maybe it's week 3 against the Giants, but either way, with every little nugget that comes out, every little breadcrumb I pick up, I get more and more confident that we're going to see Nick Chubb play in September than I was back in like January, February. Now, we can also acknowledge some facts here, which is fact, Nick Chubb did not participate during mandatory minicamp. And sure, that's I wouldn't say a setback by any means, but, I would rather him be out there than not be out there. Who wouldn't, right? That'd be a good sign of progress, but I don't think him not being out for minicamp is a sign of he's not progressing well. No, Nick Chubb suffered a torn ACL in September last year, had to get 2 knee surgeries as a result, the final one coming in November, and since then he has been, slowly improving from on crutches just a week or 5 days later at home against the Steelers, off crutches in LA against the Rams, and then we get an update April 13th, he is running on land. Then we start to get some Instagram posts from Nick Chubb, him working out, and we are still 10, 11 weeks away from week 1 against the Cowboys. And, man, every single, just nuggets, but when you start to put them all together, does anyone else feel like, ooh, a little tingle down below the belt makes me feel like we could see Nick Chubb, be full Chubb for week 1. Now, before we get to the rest of today's show, if you want to get your hands on this awesome Cleveland Browns t-shirt combo, go to chatsports.com/CLE combo. You're not going to just get one shirt. You'll get 2 shirts, and it's 40% off. So it's the best time to get some more new Browns gear in your wardrobe. I put this link for you all because I love you guys in the comments and description of today's video. So click on it and get yourself 2 Browns t-shirts. Final segment I want to get to on today's episode, training camp news, which is we have a date for training camp. The Browns have set a date. They say the dates are in the mail right now, and it is for the rookies to report on July 22nd and for the veterans to report on July 23rd. Now, Kevin Stefanski announced a while ago that the team plans to start training camp at the Greenbrier Resort in West Virginia. They'll start in Berea, right? And then they'll shuttle, fly, bus, whatever, to West Virginia. But they will report to Cleveland first, and then they'll go to West Virginia, which is where they, by the way, had training camp last year to start things off because they were in the Hall of Fame game in Canton and decided, you know what, let's have a little bit of a trip out of this since we could start training camp earlier this year due to us having 4 preseason games. And I guess it went well enough. I wasn't there in person, so I can't speak to it, but by a lot of reports, it seemed to go very well. So the Browns are taking training camp on the road to open things up this year and kind of getting away from some of maybe the distractions that can follow when the whole squad gets back together and you're in a city like Cleveland versus you're in the mountains of West Virginia. Which one do you think you could maybe get yourself into a little bit more trouble in? But first preseason game is Saturday, August 10th. Okay, that trivia question earlier, by the way, Terrell Pryor, over 1,000 yards, 2016, one of 4 Browns wide receivers to ever get over 1,000 yards and be over the age of 27. And Amari Cooper this year could become the first Browns wide receiver to get 1,000 yards over the age of 30, which is really cool, but also kind of depressing at the same time that it has never been done in Browns history. Some shout-outs, by the way. We have to give a lot of shout-outs because we put out a video earlier that had everyone comment CLE as many times as possible. So shout-out to Austin Burlingham, Joshua Miller, Dakota, Night Fright, Brent Payne, Kimberly Hurst, Dylan Sutcliffe, Mason's Mix. I think DeBrose was also commenting a bunch. So shout out to you, DeBrose. Shout out to everyone who's in the comment section for every video of ours. It really does help push our YouTube algorithm along and get more eyeballs on the channel. Okay, let's wrap up the show by bringing on producer Trace. Trizzy Trace, which card do you want to go with, amigo?
I'm feeling lucky. 7 of clubs.
7 of clubs?
7 of clubs.
I'm going to go with the 4 of diamonds. No, we're idiots. Jack of clubs. Jack of clubs. All right. That will do it for us on today's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. If you enjoyed our video, give us a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and we will see you all next time. Would you extend Amari Cooper? Let me know in the comment section, yes or no. Did anyone get the trivia question correct? Ty Man the Buckeye did. Let's go. I do like scrolling back in the comment section, and it's a little bit of the meme from Community where he like walks in with the pizza boxes and there's fire. You know what I mean? It's like, what am I stepping into right now? You guys are talking about Gary Barnridge.
Who's arguing about what?
Yeah, exactly. What am I joining right now? Didn't look like anyone got the card correct. Cool guy, where's Brown Tiger? I've been asking that question for 8 months or so. It's been a while since we've had a Brown Tiger sighting. He deleted his Twitter. I wanted to reach out to him and be like, hey, everything okay? But all the place to the earth. Hopefully everything is okay. Okay. So would you extend Amari Cooper? Give me a yes, give me a no. Get in the comment section below. Let's throw on the Super Chat menu really quickly, Trace, because we've got one more segment to get to. It's some cut candidates following mandatory minicamp. And then we've got our Browns versus Eagles stream. Now, we are going to do a Super Chat battle with Eagles now. They also go live here at Chat Sports Weekly. And I want to get more Super Chats than them. Right now, we're at 108. It's been a solo effort by Jeremy Stallman. So let's get some contributors' efforts. Let's get some bench mob guys, right? There's nothing better than a nice pinch hit, bottom of the 8th, get some insurance runs. That's what I need right now, some insurance runs.
It was really annoying. Jake Chipper, the producer of the Eagles channel here at Chat Sports, was talking so much mess about Browns fans, saying that they're worse than Steelers fans. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh, Chipper. He always finds himself in whatever corner is most advantageous to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's a flex guy. But he's
he
Eagles
just
guy
loves
at heart.
to be
though.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Every $2 super chat, here we go, Brownies. If you send in a $5 super chat and correctly predict the score for either the Browns or the Eagles in our Madden simulation, I'll do a full dog bowl. So if you want to see a grown man drink out of his dog's dog bowl today, $5 super chat, and if you get the score prediction correct, that will be seen on YouTube. That's a sight for everyone's eyes. Okay. Or we can all super chat to support the Browns. I always get, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but fired up at the idea of, let's send money to the team to pay this player. Stop it. They are billionaires. This is what they want you to do, to think that they are poor and can't do this. Don't send them $1 to pay Amari Cooper. The Haslams can afford Amari Cooper just fine. Okay. Are we ready to jump into our second segment today? Okay. We are talking surprise cut candidates following mandatory minicamp right now here on the Cleveland Browns Report. Before we look at some cut candidates for the Browns, I do want to know, what was the first Browns game you ever went to? Get in the comment section. Don't be a stranger. I would love to see what was the first game you ever attended. Welcome on into the Cleveland Browns Report. Coming up on today's show, I want to run through some surprise cut candidates. Now that we have gotten through all the spring practices and, most importantly, mandatory minicamp, did we see anyone's stock go up or down that could make someone more of a bubble player than they were maybe just a few weeks ago? So I do want to preface with, these are surprise cut candidates. I'm not saying that these guys are likely to get cut, but they very well could be on the chopping block when roster cut down day gets here. First guy I want to look at is someone I did not expect to be talking about, but stick with me, and I think you'll see why we're talking about running back D'Onta Foreman. So why would the Browns cut someone they just signed? That doesn't make sense, and you're not wrong for thinking that. But I do want to revisit a quote from Andrew Berry just earlier this week on NFL Network when talking about Nick Chubb, saying, one of the moments that we're all looking forward to is the first time he runs out of that home tunnel for his debut of the 2024 season. And if you really look at every single letter and every single word there, you can make the argument that he may be hinting towards Nick Chubb returning for week 1 against the Cowboys, since that's the first home game of the year. And Barry said home tunnel, not just any tunnel, for the debut of his 2024 season. Which doesn't mean his first game in Cleveland, but the first game of the season, also coinciding at home. But let's get back to D'Onta Foreman. So if Nick Chubb does come back on the much sooner side than maybe what the Browns were expecting back when they signed Foreman in March, that could make Foreman, replaceable. He signed a 1-year, $1.29 million contract, but what's important to look at here is the guarantees, right? They're only on the hook for $335,000. So they can move on from him and not really be out a lot of cash. It's not being out $1.129 million. It's being out $335,000. The reason why we're talking about him, though, is Jerome Ford really appears to have a good stranglehold on the backup/starting running back position, right? Backup to Nick Chubb, and when Nick Chubb's not out there, then he's the RB1 of this team. So if Foreman isn't really shaping up to be the backup to Chubb, and Chubb is shaping up to have a sooner return than maybe expected back in March, what's Foreman's role on this team? It's not special teams. He doesn't have a lot of special teams value at all to his game. We saw Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong Jr. and Nyheim Hines. They are kind of all penciled in to be this team's return guys. So now I'm kind of scratching my head thinking, well, wait a second. Let's just say Nick Chubb is back for week 1 against the Cowboys. When you look at this Browns running back room, do you need Chubb, Ford, and Foreman? Probably not, because if Foreman's not contributing on special teams, why not take someone that will, like Pierre Strong Jr.? Because Foreman's definitely not going to contribute on the field very much if you have Nick Chubb back. And I don't dislike D'Onta Foreman as a player. Back in 2022 with the Panthers, he had 900 yards, 4.5 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns. He made something out of a really putrid Panthers offense. But I just circle back to no special teams value. Maybe Nick Chubb's back sooner than the Browns thought back in March when they signed Foreman. And Jerome Ford is already shaping up to be this team's backup / starter when Nick Chubb's not there. And now I'm wondering, so what's Foreman going to do other than collect paychecks, right? So for that reason, I wouldn't be blown away if Foreman is cut because Chubb returns sooner than expected, and they're not going to get special teams out of him. Before we look at the next surprise cut candidates, last Tuesday it was, I had a meeting with my boss, who, by the way, is the host of our Michigan Football Report and a huge Michigan man. And he said, if we don't get to 34,700 subscribers, there will be an or else. And I don't really want to discover what that or else means. Now, we are less than 40 subscribers away from reaching this milestone number. So if you can't stand the team up north and you want to get free Browns content in your life at the same time, please subscribe so I don't have to come in for a 5 a.m. meeting and bring my playbook too. I'm not joking. Second cut candidate, defensive end Isaiah McGuire. This one seems premature because it is premature, right? He was a 4th-round pick out of Missouri last year. He's not getting cut this quickly, right? I don't disagree, and I don't think that we will see ultimately McGuire get the axe, but we didn't see a lot of him last year, so it's really hard to have a strong opinion on him. Played in 4 games. He made 1 start, Week 18 in Cincinnati. Total of 94 snaps throughout the entire season. He was predominantly a healthy scratch. But when you look at the Browns' defensive line room, they didn't make a whole lot of changes, which is kind of good and bad for McGuire at the same time, right? They didn't add anyone new, but they also didn't let anyone go. So Isaiah McGuire, going into his second year, finds himself in the same spot he was last year, behind Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, Okoronkwo, and Alex Wright on this depth chart. So if you're not moving up and you're staying still, you can make an argument you're moving back. And that's where I could see a path where maybe McGuire, despite it only being his second year, maybe they decide we don't need 5 defensive ends and they go a different direction. The next player I want to talk about is David Bell. He is this fan base's next Anthony Schwartz. Also a 3rd-round pick, and of course, also a wide receiver. But the 2022 3rd-round pick out of Purdue has been pretty quiet, to put it bluntly, through 2 seasons so far with the Browns. 6 career starts throughout 31 career appearances. The issue is that he has actually seen a decrease in his usage. His first year with the Browns, he played 47% of the snaps on offense. Last year with the Browns, he played 20% of the snaps on offense. So we're seeing a decrease in his workload, and we're seeing the Browns continue to draft wide receivers. So when you look at the Browns wide receiver room, let's say the Browns take 6 wide receivers. Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman, and now we start to get some bubble guys. David Bell is not going to be there for special teams. James Prochet can help out a lot more in that area. You got Michael Woods, Jamari Thrash, he's a lock, so Cooper, Jeudy, Moore, Tillman, Thrash. I've got 5 players, if all healthy, making the 53-man roster, which means Bell, Woods, Darden, Prochet are all going to be battling it out for the last spot. And if one of them is a big contributor on special teams, and with the new kick return rule, that's going to put a lot more emphasis on finding good return players. David Bell may be the odd man out. I also don't feel like we're going to see David Bell get released. Last year for Cleveland, he did kind of have a strong end to the season. He ended on a high note, couple of touchdowns in that Bengals game. Overall in the year, 167 yards, 3 TDs. I still think David Bell will make this roster. I don't think Andrew Berry wants to move on from a 3rd-round draft pick that quickly. Did something similar with Anthony Schwartz, but I feel like Bell is much further along than where Schwartz was at this point. So my gut tells me Bell still makes this roster, but I won't be shell-shocked if the Browns do cut him. Who is your favorite Browns wide receiver of all time, by the way? Let me know in the comment section below. Is it Jarvis Landry? Is it Amari Cooper right now? Josh Gordon? Get in the comment section below. I want to know who your all-time favorite Browns wide receiver is. 4th surprise cut candidate. We are continuing a bit of a trend from the previous 2. Defensive tackle, Siaka Ika. If I'm power ranking these 3 guys on screen after Deontay Foreman to get cut, Siaka Ika is probably towards the top of the list. And Siaka, if you're watching, I'm sorry. For me, it's just a numbers game. Look at the defensive line. Let's count them out together. Guys that we know are going to make their roster. Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, Quentin Jefferson, Michael Hall. That's 4 defensive tackles. The Browns last year only took 4 defensive tackles. They've never taken more than 5 with Andrew Berry as the GM. So that leaves Maurice Hurst, who I think is going to make this roster because he was awesome last year. And then there's Siaki Ika. Look at me, everyone. How does he make it? Like, there's 6 guys right there, and there's at max 5 spots. And I think Hurst should get that job over Ika based on the way Hurst played last year. So how does he make the roster? For a reason we all forget about. Injuries. Injuries. As a society, and by society, I mean football nerds that watch content in the summer, shout out to you, we get so wrapped up in roster projection, and it's like putting together a wedding invite list, which I'm currently in the battle of doing right now. And you believe everyone's going to come and you got this huge number, but you forget about the no's. You forget about that your weird cousin probably won't come if they live in Portland. So, let's not forget about the injuries the Browns are likely to sustain during the preseason. I don't want this to happen, but we would be putting our head in the sand if we did not acknowledge that there is always going to be a player or two who gets injured that was supposed to make the roster. Last year, Jakeem Grant, Michael Woods, Jacob Phillips. 3 guys that, if you ask me well before the season, are these guys going to make the roster? I say yes to all 3. 3 roster spots open up because of that. The year before that, unfortunately, Jakeem Grant again, Nick Harris, and Dawson Dean. 3 guys that I would say are all making the roster. So at the moment, it may sound impossible, but we do have to remember there are injuries. 5th and final surprise cut candidate. We had him in our last video of this topic, but I'll include him again to kind of refresh everyone in the latest revolving around. 2nd-year quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So DTR, remember, suffered a hip injury towards the end of the 2023 season, and that hip injury really lingered into the offseason. We didn't see him much at OTAs as a result. He was participating during team drills during minicamp, so that was a really good sign of progress in his rehab back to the field. Last year, 3 starts, 8 appearances altogether. Unfortunately, I don't think the box score does it justice when talking about Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Like, that Ravens game was just a disaster from the start. I felt like DTR improved as the season went along, and from every single start, he got better and better. But once again, I go back to what I talked about with Ika and the defensive line. It's kind of a numbers game. Someone is getting traded. Like, the Browns have 4 quarterbacks on their roster, and none of them are just like obvious UDFA cut candidates. So someone is either getting cut or they're getting traded. And I do think all 4 of these quarterbacks are good enough to get something in a trade. Now, you're not trading Watson. I don't think you're trading Winston, but I also wouldn't think they would trade Dobbs last year at this point of the offseason. And that happened, but I'm more confident they hold on to Winston than Dobbs. So that leaves Tyler Huntley and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So in all likelihood, Andrew Berry may just be sitting back and waiting for a team to lose their starting quarterback for a period of time and dish out DTR or Huntley for a 5th-round draft pick again. Before we sign off, if you are still hanging out with us right now, get in the comment section. Drop one of these emojis for me down below. Appreciate everyone who watches all the way until the end of the video. And now we bring on producer Trizzy Trace to pick a card. Trace, which card do you want to go with, my friend?
I'm liking the 7 of diamonds today.
7 of diamonds? Yep. All right. Everyone watching, get in the comment section too. Give me your card predictions. We'll see if anyone gets it right. You said 7 of diamonds?
7 of diamonds.
Okay. I don't dislike that. I don't think it's going to hit, though.
I'm not too
What would your second choice be? You can't switch to it.
I'm not going to switch to it. My second choice would be the 2 of hearts.
So you are actively rooting against the 2 of hearts right now.
I'm actively rooting against it.
I would too. I'm going to go with the 10 of clubs.
Okay.
What'd you say again?
Which one?
7 of diamonds?
7 of diamonds.
Close. 8 of diamonds.
Oh.
8 of diamonds. Kathy wrote 8 of hearts. That's the closest one. All right. That will do it for us on today's show. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. We're going to sign off, and we'll see everyone later with more Browns content. All right. We got a $50 super chat rolling in from Jeremy Stallman. Eagles what? Spot it. Let's go, Browns. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Let's go, Jeremy. This is quite the performance, I will say. Here at Chat Sports, we just had the NBA Finals. Well, not just us, but everyone had the NBA Finals wrap up, including our coverage of it with our Celtics channel here at Chat Sports, hosted by Allie Barefoot and assisted by Tyler Smith. And they had like a record-setting type of super chat, kind of a just live performance, we'll say, from the audience. So it's our off season. It was their in season. We'll give them the benefit. Well, we'll give them the edge for sure because of that. But Steelers talk, by the way, they have been killing it in terms of like just overall interaction, super chats, all that good stuff rolled into one over the last couple of weeks. So I hate the Steelers. You hate the Steelers. Let's make sure we defeat the Steelers on every single front. Ty Man the Buckeye knows. Ty Man's been everywhere. Ty Man's the unofficial accountant for this company, I think.
He's the accountant. He's HR.
Yeah.
He's like one of our investors. He's everything.
Okay, Super Chat menu before we get into our Browns versus Eagles watch party. Any amount, you get a shout out like we just saw with Jeremy. $2 Super Chat, we sing Here We Go Brownies, or I guess $50 or $100 Super Chat. $5 Super Chat if you want to see me do a dog bowl. Super Chat $5. Predict either the Browns or Eagles score correctly. You just got to get one of those two teams, and I'll do a full dog bowl. You know what? For shits and giggles, we'll change that number from 5 to 2 right now. $2 Super Chat, correctly predict the score of either the Browns or the Eagles, and we'll do a full dog bowl for you. And then $10 Super Chat gets you added to our off-season MVP poster. So we've already got the likes of TJ Showman Golf, Jeremy Stallman, Jacob Kistner, Ryan Chowdhury, Ken G, Joshua Miller. So many other legends on it here. So if you want to be a part of some Cleveland Browns Report history and support the channel, $10 Super Chat, great way to do so. Okay, once producer Trace gives me the thumbs up, we can jump into our Week 6 Browns versus Eagles Madden simulation. The fun thing I'm looking forward to is when the season gets here. Jeremy earlier was asking about the analytics side of things here. There's going to be a spike in the viewership of these Madden streams, which at that point will be months old because people don't realize, like, what was this guy doing in June doing Madden sims? I just want to watch one now because the game starts in 90 minutes. So I'm looking forward to seeing, it'll be a line like this and then boom, and then back down. Okay. Are we ready to jump into our Browns versus Eagles Madden sim? Only Trace has seen it, so for those of you tuning in for the first time, the producer of the live show will simulate and record the Madden game. I never see it, and then I watch it in real time with you guys. And Jeremy Stallman just can't stop. Oh, my goodness. I mean, talk about a hat trick, a 50-point burger, 4-touchdown performance. This is for Ty Man. His name needs to be up there. He's also the most selfless human being I've ever met, and I do mean that, too. Jeremy and I were able to hang out a few weeks ago when he was in town, and he is one of one. Ty Man the Buckeye, I don't even have to say anything. I know you will thank Mr. Stallman in the chat. Let me add Ty Man right now to our board. Did YouTube, by the way, update a little bit? The chat looks different. What did Ty Man just do in the chat? He replied to the super chat?
Yeah, so you can now, as a viewer, reply to super chats. You can also like the super chats. So maybe this football season we do some competitions with the most liked super chat gets, an award or something.
Ty Man the Buckeye. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Terrence G just said W. Everyone shout out Jeremy.
Let's go, Jeremy.
Appreciate you, my man. Okay. We're at 168. I don't know for sure what Eagles did last week, but it was in the 200s. That would be the neighborhood. Call it 220 because I know that I'm pretty sure I got over 200. But don't put it.
I know they didn't hit 250.
Yeah.
So if we get 250, we're wiping the floor with Eagles.
That would be an absolute undoubted dub. Okay. So we'll just call it 220. That way, kind of right in the middle of 250 and 220 or 200. Okay. So with that being said, we are going to jump into a Madden simulation for Browns versus Eagles. Are we ready to rumble, Mr. Drace? All right, my friends, here we go. Week 6 in the Madden world, Browns versus Eagles. If you're just tuning in, let me catch you up. The Browns started the season off 0-2. Since then, they have rattled off 3 straight victories, 2 of which have come on the road, knocking off the Raiders and the Commanders, and now they finished their 3-game road stretch in the city of brotherly love against the Eagles. So with that being said, let's jump into Browns versus Eagles. By the way, Philly comes off a bye before this in real life and in Madden. So not ideal to catch the Eagles on the road when they're coming off a bye. That's a little bit of a, unlucky advantage for the Eagles, but oh well. The Browns kind of had that last year, right? The 49ers came to town after a bye for Cleveland at home, for them across the country. So here we go. 3-1 Eagles versus 3-2 Brownies. Get started right now as the Eagles are wearing their throwback Kelly Green unis. Don't love that. I'm a big believer in look good, play good, feel good. And this is already a tough start. I think we can spot the Eagles a field goal for those uniforms. But it will be Cleveland football to start the game. I swear to God, Nyheim Hines, if you don't get to the 25-yard line. Okay, you got to 25. Never mind. Okay. You got to 27. That's probably the first time in the Madden world. I have never seen a video game hate a kick returner more than Madden and Nyheim Hines. But Deshaun Watson stepping onto the field for the first time this game. Watson so far this year, by the way, has been really good so far, I'd say. He's had a lot of good throws, a couple of misses here and there, but what quarterback doesn't? So nothing unique or abnormal. Watson and the offense have done a good job of putting up points, but the defense is what slowed them down the first 2 games of the season. Now they look to bounce back. Here we go, 1st and 10 for Cleveland. On the first play of the game, it's a run to Nick Chubb that goes for 4 yards. Chubb, by the way, has looked really good. Madden does not know about his knee injury last year, so we're going to keep it that way. It's been the Browns' defense that stalled him, like I said, earlier in the year, but they have really come to form and come to life the last couple of weeks, especially a week ago in D.C. 2nd and 6 for the Browns at their own 30. In the gun, Watson takes the snap. Passes over the middle, and that is incomplete, man. That could have been picked off. Looked like it might have gone through the hands of an Eagle. I guess that'd be the talons, yeah. 3rd and 6. What do? Run or pass? Let me know. Jeremy Stallman with a $2 super chat in real time here. We'll throw that on screen for you in a moment. 35-28 Browns. I hope so. Watson on 3rd down. Caught. Yeah, let's go! Elijah Moore, who, by the way, has been very quiet in the Madden world, but maybe this is his coming out party. Let's go, Moore. Nice throw from Watson. Look at that layering, right? Above the linebacker, but not so close to the pass to the cornerback. Good throw, good catch, 1st down Brownies, and they are in Philly territory. And Kevin Stefanski had a lot of Philly cheesesteaks, it looks like, on this road trip. He is looking fat AF. 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 42-yard line. Run for Chubb. Look at that hole! Chubb picking up 15 yards on the ground. Was that Batonio flipping pancakes, picking up a shift at IHOP? 1st and 10 Brownies. Let's go. Spam those ones. That's what I'm talking about. Nice drive here from Cleveland. 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 28-yard line. In the gun, Watson takes the snap. It's a quarterback keeper that goes south. Loss of 2 on the play. And push-ups 4. Is that Nakobe Dean? I don't know who that is. Second and 12. Keeper does not fool the Eagles' defense that time. Watson in shotgun. Snap. Handoff. Chubb. Breaks 1 tackle. Flag. For the time being, about a gain of 8. Holding. Oh, my gosh. Drive killer. Don't decline it. 2nd and 20. So a loss of 10 on the play. They're backed up to Philly's 37. Snap to Watson, run for Chubb, and Chubb's not going to find a lot of green grass. Gain of 5. That'll bring up 3rd and 15. Let's see what the offense will draw up this time. Watson, right on the fringe of field goal range. I'd say they're pretty comfortably in it right now, about 49, 50-yarder from this point. In the gun, Snap to Deshaun. Looking, throwing deep. Caught, touchdown. Let's go. Elijah Moore. Yes. Browns on top. 3rd and 15. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. It's an Elijah Moore party right now. Slips behind the defense, wide open. Let's go. Spam those TDs. I think that might be the first touchdown of the season for Elijah Moore. Extra point from D-Hop is up, and it is good. That's the beauty of Madden. They never miss extra points. So a good opening drive from the Browns. Couple of clutch conversions, both going to Elijah Moore on 3rd down. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you have not already. Get yourself the best Browns content on YouTube for absolutely nothing. Not even like the put your credit card information in and we won't bill you until a week goes by. No, it's completely free. So if you don't like the content, you can always unsubscribe, but at least give us a shot for a week and your money back guaranteed if you don't like it. Here we go. Browns to kick off and restart the game. 7-0 lead. Good opening drive. Ate up a little under 3 minutes of that first quarter. Kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback. So, Jalen Hurts, who I do think is slightly overrated. We'll see how that plays out this year. Losing Kelsey is going to be an impact. 1st and 10. You do have to go sign a running back because you don't trust your quarterback. That's how I read the Saquon signing. I've never seen more excuses made for a quarterback that had A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and a top 3 offensive line. Hurts in the gun. 1st and 10. Snap. It's a handoff. Run for Barkley, and a nice one, too. Saquon knifing through the defense. Gain of 12. I do think Barkley's going to have a strong year for Philly. 1st and 10, Browns. I beg your pardon, Eagles. From the Philly 37-yard line. Snap to Hurts. Drop back. Looking. Throwing to his left. That is caught. Make a tackle. Come on. It looks like they're trying to tackle a watermelon covered in butter. A.J. Brown, 1st down. Who's that? Stop clapping. 1st and 10, Eagles. Come on, defense. At the 50. This could be a shootout. Hurts in the gun. Takes the snap. Jalen looking. Throwing deep. Ooh, broken up. Nice PBU. Is that Delpit in coverage? I wasn't sure. But 2nd and 10. Come on, defense. Let's go, boys. Amari Cooper on the sideline. Good to see him get that contract dispute resolved. Shotgun snap. Hurts. Surveying. Checking it down for a 1st down and more. Gain of 15. Findings at Dallas Goedert. Yes. And the Eagles move the sticks. And the Browns defense looks like they may have been slightly fraudulent. They had really good games against Daniel Jones and the Giants, Gardner Minshew and the Raiders, and a rookie in Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. But when playing Dak, Lawrence, and now Hurts, they are struggling. But there we go, Myles Garrett. Nice TFL. Loss of 4. 2nd and 14. Myles Garrett had a slow-ish start to the year, but he's really ramped things up the last couple of weeks. Eagles at the Browns 40. 2nd and 14. Snap to Hurts. Another run and nowhere to go. Let's go. Gain of 2. And Jordan Hicks comes up from the linebacker spot and makes the stop. 3rd down. Spam those 3s. Let's go. Let's get a stop. 3rd down. 3rd and long. Hurts in the gun. Snap. Looking. Throwing. Fuck. 1st down. just kind of tossed it out there. Devontae Parker. Didn't he retire? I thought he retired. Am I thinking of someone else? Come on. This is the most Madden thing I've ever seen. They just drag him off the couch. 1st and 10. Snap. And a bit of trickery for a moment, but it doesn't fool Jim Schwartz's defense. Loss of 1. I mean, right off the bat here, this game's already got an asterisk next to it. I've got Devontae Parker. We all know future Hall of Fame wide receiver. Doesn't count. No. My eyes, it's 4th and 15 here. Oh, end of the first quarter. Second quarter now. Hurts in the gun, takes the snap. Hurts looking, throwing to his right. That's caught. 1st and goal. Saquon Barkley just beating JOK, sorry. And that'll bring up 1st and goal from about the 5. Hold him to 3. Hold him to 3. You are willing to give up a field goal. Jalen Hurts from the 4-yard line in shotgun. This will be a run for Saquon. It is indeed. And he is trying to navigate traffic. Unable to get around Juan Thornhill. Nice job, Thorny. 2nd and goal. I've got Time Man the Buckeye and Kathy in the chat right now. Let's get some stops going. F Philly. 2nd and goal. Snap. It's a run. It's a touchdown. Touchdown, Saquon Barkley. Untouched into the end zone. And we are an extra point away from being tied. Both offenses drive down the field to open up the game. Both of them putting up a touchdown. Browns defense against Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, Swiss cheese. Against Daniel Jones, Gardner Minshew, and Jaden Daniels, it is the Iron Curtain. Not going to work in the playoffs. Extra point up and good. All right, here we go. Second quarter. Browns will get the ball. By the way, it will be Eagles' possession to start the second half. It always seems to work out where the team that gets the ball to start the second half will always get the ball to end the first half. I don't know how the football gods always just make that happen, but it always happens. Doesn't matter how long or short the first drive is. Always works out that way. Browns are either going to punt or they're going to score, and the Eagles will get the ball back with 2 minutes. Kickoff. Naheem Hines. This is going to be a disaster. You know what? I'll eat my words. You guys, 3 extra yards. Here comes Watson on the offense. A couple of key third down conversions on that first drive. I have yet to see Jerry Jeudy touch the ball, or David Njoku, but only been 1 drive so far. Elijah Moore has been the go-to guy thus far. 1st and 10 for Watson in the offense at their own 29-yard line. Watson in the gun. Takes the snap. It's a pass. Checks it down. It's caught. Gain of 4. And didn't see who got their paws on it. Maybe Elijah Moore again. Yep. So, solid gain for first down. Keep yourself on schedule. 2nd and 4 here. Deshaun working under the hood. At his own 32. Snap. Drops back. Throws to the right. That's incomplete. Damn it. Once again, looking for Elijah Moore. Someone took the more on Moore's receptions, I think. Can't wait for that scandal to come out in a few years after this game. 3rd and 6. Okay. Deshaun in the gun. Snap. Has time. Throws. That's incomplete. Damn it. Incomplete. And the Browns go 3 and out. And the Eagles will get the ball with about 4.5 minutes remaining. All 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. And they get the ball to start the second half. So, big stop coming up here for the Browns. All right. Bojorquez sends it high into the Philly sky. Return gets across the 25 and stopped just shy of the 30. While the Eagles offense comes on the field, by the way, I do want to tell everyone watching about the awesome deal we have going on at chatsports.com/CLE combo. You can get this Browns t-shirt combo, not one, but 2 shirts, 40% off. I put that link in the comments and description of today's video. All right, we welcome you back to our Madden broadcast as the Eagles have 1st and 10 right now in a 7-7 game with all 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning awaiting them. At their own 30-yard line, Hurts lines up in the gun. Takes the snap, looking, pressure, and he gets out of it. And Hurts is tracked down. That Shelby Harris? No, Maurice Hurst. I'm not quite sure who that defense tackle was. I couldn't see well enough. But it's a 1st down run for Jalen Hurts. Nearly had him for a moment, but that's what makes Jalen one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. He's got the mobility to his game. At the 42-yard line, Hurts, shotgun snap, handoff to Barkley, and he runs to the left side for a gain of 4. Saquon Barkley, just another running back in a long list of backs that has been torching this Browns run defense. They made Zeke look like he was still in Columbus. Travis Etienne was an all-pro running back in week 2. Even whoever the Giants running back is this year, Devin Singletary, looked like Josh Jacobs back there. A 1st down completion to Devontae Smith. So Madden, I think, is being a little bit mean to the Browns run defense. I don't want to jinx it, but I don't really see how they could be that bad. You got Dalvin Tomlinson. Made a lot of additions to the interior defensive line. Across the 50, 3 minutes to go. Snap to Hurts. Jalen going to the end zone. Oh, no. Touchdown. A.J. Brown. 50-yard bomb. Don't know what to say. Nothing to say. Just beat his man. Hauled it in. Martin Emerson. Not mad. Happens. Get him next time. Short memory indeed. That's what I need my DBs to know. Short memory. Spin zone. The good news is they scored kind of... Oh! Did he not get 2... Whoa. Let's watch this closer. Does he get 2 feet in? Left or right? Damn it, Madden. Show us the angle. We can't see shit from there. Oh, come on. What's the call? I'm not John Boy. I can't lip read. I think it's a touchdown. The body language. Coop's like, what the hell? Touchdown, Eagles. Spin zone. The Browns get the ball back with more time to get a score up. Had they let the Eagles chew off more clock and then get a touchdown. So we can look at this as a good thing, actually, believe it or not. All 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning, 3 minutes to go in the first half. Eagles have put up 14 unanswered after an opening touchdown drive from Watson and the Browns. We're going to need a bounce-back drive here from the O after they went 3 and out last time. Let's go, boys. Come on. Not you, Hines. You are forever on my shit list. My biggest fear is bumping into Naheem Hines and him watching this. And I can understand why he would hate me. I would hate me if I were him. Return across the 15 to the 20. There it is. Oh, he strikes again. 1st and 10 Browns. They'll have about 78 yards of field in front of them. Under 3 minutes to go. 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Let's start things off with a nice 6-7 yard completion to David and Joke. Put yourself in a 2nd and short. Give yourself an opportunity to take a deep shot, and then you can go back to getting the 1st down on 3rd down. Who says no? 1st and 10. Here's Watson. I don't know what the exclamation point means for Amari Cooper, but maybe he's mad. Is he grumpy? Was he injured? Watson going over the middle. That's incomplete. Incomplete pass from Watson, who was really good the first drive, and now the last drive and the first pass of this drive, not so good. 2nd and 10. I don't know what that means, but Chubb is his character. First down, let's go, Jerry Jeudy. Gain of 15. Judy's first grab of the day. Nice throw and catch. Out towards midfield with that one. Just good route running abilities by Jeudy, right? He recognized it's zone defense. So find the soft spot in the zone, sit in it, work your way back to the quarterback, and let him do the rest. 1st and 10 Brownies, 2.5 to go. Take your time. No rush whatsoever. At the 40-yard line, Watson, snap. Throws to the left. Oh, man, that nearly got picked off. And kind of a dirty hit, borderline on Amari Cooper. Defenseless receiver. 2nd and 10. Watson, drop back, looking, throwing. This is going nowhere. It looks like a loss, maybe. No gain on the play, 3rd and 10. Don't use a timeout. Take it to the 2-minute warning. Don't want to give the Eagles any extra time if needed, because it's 3rd down now. Also, I heard that in this game, can we look for this? Cooper DeJean is not white. So, and I think Quinyon Mitchell is white. I wonder if they flop the two. Keep an eye on that. Snap to Watson. 3rd. Oh, they run it with Chubb. And Chubb. Whoa, run to the left, Nicholas. Oh, you got to be shitting me. Chubb, it was there, buddy. 4th and 4. Eagles use their first timeout. Run to the left. That's where the blocker was. Watson, put the Gatorade down. Just a bad visual right now. The Browns are going to punt it away. Eagles will have 2 timeouts and about a minute 50-ish. Good-looking punt into the end zone, I think, or out of the 1. I can't tell. I think into the end zone. So here comes Hurts and the Eagles. 1st and 10 Philly. They lead by 7, and they're trying to add on to it. They also get the ball to start the second half. I'll say it right now. If they score a touchdown here, game over. Game over. You're down 21-7, and Philly gets the ball to start the second half? Pistol, snap to Hurts, and pressure. Gets out of a sack. That's not happening. Hurts runs with it, and he gets about 14. You are not escaping the grasp of Myles Garrett. That's what makes him Superman. 1st and 10. Gobbledygook. At the 35-yard line. Under 90 seconds. Still two timeouts for Philly. Gain of 14 or so. 1st down and out of bounds. Stops the clock. A.J. Brown. Maybe you got to switch. I mean, Martin Emerson usually goes up against the more physical wide receivers. Denzel Ward is one of the fastest cornerbacks in the league, but he's not one of the most physically, imposing ones. Although he is, but just not maybe as lengthy as Emerson. But it ain't working right now. Snap to Hurts. Looking. Get him! Down he goes! Finally. Garrett. 2nd and 15, and the Eagles are going to let the clock tick away. Okay. They still have 2 timeouts. Let that clock bleed off. Tick, 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 tick. 45 seconds and counting. Snap to Hurts. 2nd and 15. Throwing. That's incomplete. Nice job, Emerson. Way to give me a middle finger in the booth. Love it, MJ. 3rd and 15. Clock does stop with the incomplete pass. Under 40 seconds to go. Stefanski's fired up. Let's go. Come on, defense. Pistol formation. Snap. That's completed for a first down. I think that Devontae Parker again. Timeout Eagles now. And that completion gets them pretty well into Jake Elliott field goal territory as well. You don't want to give any points here, but a touchdown really feels like a backbreaker. So we can handle a field goal. All right, 10-point game at the half. That's not insurmountable. 1st and 10 at the Browns 36. Hurts in the gun. 30 seconds left. 1 timeout. Snap. Looking. Throwing. Incomplete? I think incomplete. Thought for a moment that might have been picked off. 2nd and 10. Second down. Snap to Hurts. Checking it down. There you go. Nice tackle. Juan Thornhill blowing it up. 3rd down. Here we go. 3rd and 10. Spam your threes. Kick them out of field goal range. Timeout. Oh my God. I forgot that clock was running the whole time. They just let the clock. That's some Mike McCarthy clock management. They called a timeout with 3 seconds left. What the fuck are they thinking? I guess they're just going to kick the field goal from here. It'd be a 53-yarder. 53-yarder. From the left hash. Is up. And it is good. 17-7 to close out the half. What are your score predictions with 12 minutes in, 12 minutes to go? Eagles will get the ball to start the second half. The Browns' offense and defense has some work to do. Let me know what your score predictions are down below. Damn it. All right. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you are looking for a Browns channel that does watch parties in the dog days of the off season. This is the channel for you. Not only do we do Madden watch parties, but we also put out the latest news and rumors and plenty of other topics to discuss. So hit the sub button if you have not already as we get set for the second half between Philly and Cleveland. It will be the Eagles' ball to start the second half. This Browns defense, they need to make a play. I've got Myles Garrett for 1 sack, and that's pretty much the best play that's been made on defense all game long. So who on the defense wants to be a hero? I'm looking. I am looking. Someone step up. Posick needs a breather. Zach Zinter is huffing and puffing. I don't know why. The guy has not done any cardio since practice on Thursday. Hopkins kicks it off. Return. Across the 15. And stopped at the 20. Nice job. Who was that? Did I see 18? Was that David Bell? David Bell. Way to earn yourself a roster spot, buddy. $5 super chat. We're doing this live, by the way. I should have mentioned earlier. Shame on me. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday for these Madden Sims. So while we're live, James Harper right now with a $5 super chat. Yeah. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 20. Hurts checking it off to the flat. Make a tackle, boys. Come on. And a good one. Barkley gaining 5 yards. Harper, sorry, just now getting here. Hope everyone is doing well. Sub for Dubs. Let's go, Browns. James, you are truly like one of a kind. I don't think that's justice I'm looking for is like one of just the nicest people in the world. He's apologizing for being late to a YouTube stream. There's nothing to apologize, James. You have the kindest heart. 2nd and 5. Oh, that's got to be caught! Damn it! Hicks! That's the game right there. That's game. Turn it off. 3rd and 5. James, sent a very nice super chat. Jordan Hicks fucked it up. And it's a first down. Oh, that's even more disgusting. No one wants to wrap up today. Everyone just wants to bump titties for 60 minutes. 1st and 10, Philly. Did he step out of bounds? No, stays in bounds. Delpit. Make the tackle the first time. 1st and 10. At the Eagles 38. Snap to Hurts. Drop back. Throwing, and that's caught first down all the way out to the Browns 40. I don't know who that is, but someone get a man on him. It's Devontae Parker. Came out of retirement just to skull fuck the Browns secondary. Terrence G, we had like 5 picks this game. This drive, this is like getting an error on out number 3. All this is fake. Fugazi to me right now. Because that completion for a first down shouldn't have happened because Jordan Hicks should have caught the football. 1st and 10. They're at Cleveland's 30. Snap. Another run. Barkley looking, weaving, gain of 8. This is just starting to crumble fast. The meanest part, by the way, was they scored in the opening drive. What a case of blue balls. Oh, it would be a great game for the Browns today. No. They're about to go down 24-7. Hurts, play fake, going, caught, 5, 1st and goal. Devontae Parker. If Devontae Parker scores a touchdown, I'm going to know what the taste of lead is like. I hate Nick Sirianni too. He's about to go home, watch the town, order like 5 different Philly cheesesteak places. Just take a bite out of each one just to support local businesses, support them all. I formation. It's a run. Barkley, he's tackled. No gain on the play. Now Hicks wants to play football. Welcome, Jordan. We've been waiting for you, buddy. 2nd and goal. Hurts in shotgun. Takes the snap. Run. Barkley. Don't do it. Don't do it. Damn it! Everyone's standing upright. No one wants to make a play on defense today, I guess. 2nd rushing touch. Look at this. Just getting pushed off the football. Manhandled. That Ronnie Hickman at safety? Get him off. (24-7) when the extra point goes through. That's game time, man. Down 21 points in the Madden world? How long was that drive? Is that 4 minutes? In the Madden world, that's a lifetime. 6-minute quarters. 75% of the quarter. All right, we have Browns t-shirts. I don't know why you'd want to support this team, but if you do, they're right here, 40% off. Chatsports.com/CLE combo. I'm supposed to tell you guys to go get them. Why would you? It's 24/7. Return. Oh, go. Wait. Now you take a knee. Little late, Naheem. That's how I know that they're messing with us. Buddy Bear's here. Did I miss the trivia? No, not yet. This is how I know they're messing with us. They're watching. They're listening. Watson, 1st and 10. This will be a pick 6. Oh, yeah, find Chubb for 2. That's going to spark the comeback. The main thing about when your team is trailing is even if they make just a good play, you still get critical of it. If it's not great, it's awful. Like, there's no in between. If the game was tied, no one would be upset with that play right there. 2nd and 8. Oh, he's taken down. No game. Quinyon Mitchell. Okay, so he looks correct there. I still want to see. I guess no, because that's in Madden 25. So, 3rd and 8. Snap to Watson all day. He's going to get sacked. Oh, he runs with it. Good job, Deshaun. 1st and 10. Nice play, Watson. Thornhill loves it. Do you care to do anything on your end of the bargain, Juan, for this defense? 1st and 10. Watson in the gun into zone 40. Snap. It's a run for Chubb, and there's just no room today for Chubb. Every lane of traffic is full. There's not even like hopping from one lane to the next and moving with the pace of traffic. Nope. Bumper to bumper. 2nd and 9. Empty set. Snap to Watson. Looking. Come on. Going deep. Incomplete. Is that Cooper to Gene or is that no Rodrigo Blankenship? Oh, Reed. I was thinking of the kicker. That's Rodrigo Blankenship. There's 2 Blankenships. 3rd and 9. I always hated Rodrigo in college. He's the most punchable face in college football. Watson's going to go deep with it. Hold on to the football. Yes, let's go. Nice job, Derry. Good play. That's the end of the quarter. So the Browns go into the 4th quarter with the football down 21 points. They're going to need a bit of a miracle here. They're going to need a touchdown, make it 24-14. I would say a turnover. Get the ball back, quick score, and then you use all 3 timeouts to get the ball back after another stop. 1st and 10, run. Chubb. Oh, there you go, Chubb. Go, 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 go. Chubb, nice play. Sheds a tackler, picks up 15, 20 yards. 1st and 10 Brownies. There we go. 1st and 10. Watson in the gun. Takes the snap. Checks over to the middle. That's caught. Gain of 7. We got to have a sense of urgency, boys. Let's go. Amari Cooper, that's like his 2nd grab of the day. Second and 3. Watson under center. Takes the snap. It's a run for Chubb. Touchdown! Yes! Thank God. Chubb. Superman dive in for 6. Browns have a pulse. It's a faint pulse, but there is one. Trying to make it a 10-point game. Extra point is up, and it is good. Defense, don't let me down. You have not done anything today to make me proud of you. But that can change. I need a quick stop. I need a takeaway. I need something to know that the entire starting defense wasn't gassed, put to sleep, and filled in with Philly fans from the parking lot. Naheem, you see what he did there? You could do that too. 1st and 10. Dude, I'm going to say this right now. One day, I'll be boarding a flight, and Naheem Hines will sit down next to me. And it'll be like this. The door will close, and Naheem will go, hey, sorry, man, because it may be like, touching me or something like that. And then he'll do a double take and realize it's me. and it's going to be like a Larry David Kirby moment. It's going to be the worst three-hour flight of my life. 1st and 10. Snap to Hurts. He's going to pass. He's going deep with it. That's caught. Devontae fucking Parker. None of this happened. When does he go to Canton? Because he looks like a Hall of Fame wide receiver today. He just mosses Denzel Ward. First and 10. They're all the way out to Cleveland's 48. Snap to Hurts. It's a play fake throw. Caught. Another first down. A.J. Brown that time. I mean, credit to Philly. They're not afraid. Like, they go on deep on the first two plays right here. I thought they would run it, burn some clock. Oh, no. How about you just go to the Browns' 34-yard line? Get yourself in field goal range. Which they can kick a field goal here, and it's not too much of a setback to the Browns. Comeback hopes, right? 10-point game, field goal makes a 13-point game, 2 touchdowns still. Very doable. Well, not very doable, but still doable. That's what I'm looking for. Jameis, I love when backups put the helmet on. Like, Jameis, what are you doing, buddy? 2nd and 5. They're at the Browns' 29-yard line. Snap. Handoff. Run. Barkley first down and more. It's just a slip and slide defense today. It's like a white picket fence front yard in 2010. Whole neighborhood's over. Slip and sliding around. No one on defense wants to play football today. The United States flag football team is in pads in white right now. 1st and 10 at the Browns' 16-yard line. Handoff. It's a run, and there's no gain. The only thing that's even getting me through the next 2.5 minutes is as we film this live during our weekly show on Tuesdays, Jeremy Stallman with a $75 super chat. Ask, and Jeremy will put food on your table. Look, this game is rigged. We know that if this was real, if this was a real game, it would be different. F Philly, F Pitt, and hope this puts us past the shitty Philly. Let's go Browns as Saquon Barkley rushes for a touchdown. Jeremy, you demand, indeed, Saquon is going to absolutely obliterate this Browns defense. He's going to blast the Browns into the shadow realm if he plays even half as well in real life as he did today. It's 30-14 bad guys. Jeremy, thank you so much. If you're watching this later on, spam Jeremy in the comment section. There's no one like Jeremy Stallman. There's just not going to be another Jeremy Stallman. It's kind of like when Nick Chubb went down. It's like, you're not replacing Chubb. I don't care how many Billy Beans you have in your front office. You can't replace Chubb in the aggregate. Can't do it. Can't replace Jeremy Stallman. Jeremy, you are the man indeed. Shout out to Jeremy Stallman, everyone. Screw the Eagles, though. This has been an absolute clapping. 31-14.
Man, I hate the entire state of Pennsylvania so much. Not the people, just the state and their football teams.
Could not agree more. The only good thing that's come out of Philly is the Declaration of Independence and Always Sunny in Philly. Where'd I go wrong? Oh, no. No. Let's see. You ran off about 5 seconds of clock, and you gained -3 yards. Jeremy, you just take the words out of my mouth sometimes. You leave me speechless, truly. The Browns are going to fall to 3-3, by the way, in the Madden world. Unfortunate, but not surprising. Actually, it is surprising. I don't know why I was doom and gloom right there. I would not expect this team to be 3-3. Watson on 1st and 10 checks it down. Cooper snags it in for 5 yards. Stefanski, if you call a timeout, we're seriously going to just end it. I cannot handle when coaches take timeouts when games are over. Because this is actually getting a little too deep here. But I know that they have a job, but also when the NFL is as expensive as it is to watch it, not just go to it anymore, but it's so expensive to just watch your team now. You have to get all these different subscriptions. You can't just watch it on your couch anymore on local CBS or Fox. There's Amazon. There's Peacock. There's ESPN Plus. There's a bazillion different things you have to get to watch games. So when you make us either pay an arm and a leg to go or an arm and a leg just to watch it on TV, and you waste our time by calling timeouts, okay, Cooper, go, 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 touchdown! Amari Cooper! Let's go! I paused my TED Talk for an Amari Cooper touchdown bomb. Spam Coop! Ooh, that's time for hiccup. I now give permission for the Browns to use their timeouts. Still down 10. You're going to need an onside kick here. I mean, you need an onside kick. Well, I mean, you have all 3 timeouts, so you could go for the let's get a stop route and then get the ball back. Maybe that's the better route. I would say that's probably the better route. Kick it deep, get a stop, get the ball back. Score, onside kick. Nope, they don't listen to me. Onside kick time. And it's recovered immediately. The reason why is if you don't get the onside kick here and you get a stop, you are now pinned back way deep in your own territory. Whereas if you have to get a stop either way, at some point, you're not going to convert 2 onside kicks. Why not have them get a stop deep in their own territory, and then you can get the ball around the 35-ish yard line. Now, if you get the ball back, you'll be pinned at least at your own 20-yard line, if not worse. 1st and 10. Jalen Hurts going to hand it off to Barkley. He'll get a first down, I say, on the first play. Madden hates the Browns defense. It's a run for Barkley. Okay, there we go. Timeout, 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 timeout. Loss of 2. Loss of 2. Timeout taken. Second and 12. Come on, defense. Under center. Hurts. At the Browns 45. Run. Gain of 4-ish. Gain of 3 officially. Throw the timeout. 3rd and 9. I mean, they're not going to kick a field goal, so you get a stop here. You get the ball back with about 55 seconds. You got to go. You don't have to score a touchdown. In fact, I would recommend you don't unless you get a big play. Just get a field goal range and kick the field goal and then go for the onside kick to give yourself as much time as possible. There's no point scoring a touchdown with 5 seconds left if you need an onside kick anyway. Hurts running with it. Damn it, Darius. Oh, it doesn't matter. He gets the first down. And then he gets shin to the knee, to the face. Darius Smith, listen, he had 5.5 pressures 4.5 sacks last year. A lot of pressures. That's the case of a pressure is awesome, but we need the sack. That's an empty pressure. I need a sack right there. And now the Eagles can kneel it out. That's disappointing. So that will do it for us. The Browns fall to 3-3 on the season. The Eagles improve to 4-1. We'll do more of these Madden Sims, hopefully with better results. But go ahead, hit the sub button down below if you have not already. We'll get you guys the best Browns content and coverage all off-season long. Okay, that will do it for us on our live show today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see everyone with more content throughout the entire week and the rest of the off-season.